1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost a weekend and you don't know what to do. Or you just need something fun to listen to.
Southside Pod!
Yes, we're on the air. And the gang's all here, all things on the South Side. You're listening to the Southside Pod. Looking for the best Southside breweries. Or you might just need an awesome place to eat.
Southside Pod!
Mount Greenwood, Evergreen, Blue Island, Beverly, Payless, and Allsup too. You're tuned into the Southside Pod.
Southside Pod!
Oakland, Midlothian,
Southside Pod!
Oak Forest, Chicago Ridge, Flossmoor, and Bridgeview. You're listening to Southside Pod.
We're recording on Sunday.
Sunday.
So the show that came out, it comes out on a Thursday.
It came out what?
Wait, it came out
already.
Well,
Was it a good show?
People listening now.
Are we time traveling?
Phil, no,
It's
it
with the-
wasn't.
anyway.
You know it wasn't.
All right.
But we recorded on Sunday, and it
Next
was
Sunday
before
we
this. It was
recorded it.
before this warm week. You know, it was 80s all weekend, and 80s expected Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and now it should be starting to cool off. And the air conditioner completely crapped out today. The central air, like it's still running, but there's no cold coming out of it. So I'm hoping it's just like the Freon
You're just really
or something
burning
like
money
that.
right
Like
now,
yeah.
is what you're
So no.
doing.
I just said open up the windows. We're gonna survive the next couple days. Like it's like when I'm living over on 80th and Spalding when
Yeah,
my
these
mother used to
spoiled
have.
kids.
My mother and father had one window air conditioner in the whole house. Over at 80th and Spalding.
In
They
their
kept
bedroom,
it in
right?
their
Yeah,
bedroom.
of course.
Because
Duh.
the rest of us could die for all they cared.
My kids went on a 20-minute trip in their grandmother's car, and they were upset because it didn't have TVs. They thought all cars have TVs.
Yeah, no,
That's
not how it
amazing.
works.
That's amazing they thought that. That's,
Right. And
that's
the
great.
look on their face, like, what did you used to do in car trips? To be like, count license plates.
Right. Read a book.
Yeah, sleep on the back.
Right.
Like, between the window and the seat. You know,
We do all kinds of stuff. We
Right.
did television. for
cow
crying out
bingo.
loud.
Like, it was a lot of fun.
There wasn't even, I remember that when I was a kid, there weren't even CD players or tape. I mean, I think we had a tape deck, but my dad never used it.
No.
You know, so it was whatever they could find on the radio, and
My
they pushed
parents
that,
would just
they pushed
listen
that
to
button in. The
WGN.
presets where
Yes.
you'd push the big button in, and the needle would move on the
Yeah.
thing. Like it was stupid. Yeah, kids are spoiled now. But I mean,
Analog
with the air
radio.
conditioning, I was laughing. They're like, "Well, what are we gonna do?" I'm like, "It's a couple of days, guys, and Dad isn't gonna have that expense right now. Here as October begins."
By the way, it was like 81.
He's not doing that. Yeah.
It's not like it was 105.
No, it's going to
You'll
be
live.
59 overnight, too.
Turn on the ceiling fans and open the
Right.
windows. You know,
Windows. What?
It's stupid.
Oh,
but
you
yeah.
rich, you got those windows that open, huh?
Yeah, we do. We have windows that open. It's amazing. We have windows that open. And then they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, you go open them too. Dad can outlast you. That was the other thing. I was like, open the windows. Why do we have to open the windows? Because Dad will outlast you.
Right.
Okay?
I'll close them all and put the heat on. I was an 80s child.
I'm about to turn on the oven for no reason
Yeah,
just to
right.
get this
Leave
place
it open.
warm. Yeah, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Ahead on this show, the Beverly Theatre is stopping by. They're going to do some singing, and then we're going to learn all about Guys and Dolls. We go to Lemont for Oktoberfest, and a life-changing moment. Actually, two of them, because when you go to Costco for the first time, that is also a life-changing moment. Southside Pod is brought to you proudly by Family Waterproofing Solutions, Boeing Walls, Window Wells, Foundation Crack Repair. They even clean out your gutters. Now's the time. All those leaves are going to start falling. Get an appointment in. And you heard the ad at the beginning of the show, Express Service. Know what you want, see the cost right on the website. Order, schedule on site immediately for quick service. Your basement's best defense is at FamilyDry.com.
When you see a guy reach for stars in the sky, you can bet that he's doing it for some doll. When you spot a John waiting out in the rain, chances are he's insane, as only a John can be for a Jane. When you meet a gent paying all kinds of rent for a flat that could flatten the Taj Mahal, call it sad, call it funny, but it's better than even money that the guy's only doing it for some doll, some doll, some doll. The guy's only doing it for some doll.
as you can hear right there, Guys and Dolls is coming to town, and Katie Regalato's here. How are you?
Good. How are you, Chris?
Good. Beverly Theatre Guild. That's
Yes,
where
sir.
you're from. You've been on the show before.
I have.
And welcome back. And you found the show because you actually listened to it. So thank you.
do.
I appreciate that. I love the fact that you brought singers down here. So I want to get into the play, and then you can introduce them here in a moment, because
Absolutely.
they just had their performance. Now they're sitting here with a drink at the bar, as you do after you've sang your heart out.
Of course.
And you could tell everybody a little bit about what this production is, when it's going to be.
Sure. So we're producing the first song, or the first show of our 61st season, Guys and Dolls. It is going to be October 20th to the 22nd at Morgan Park Academy. All made up of local community members, run by community members. We've been doing theater here on the South Side for over 60 years. So we're really excited to bring this show to life.
You know what I love is that when you bring in other people, I realize that, like, you're not kidding. There's a lot of people that are involved in this, and it's like you can just kind of look in the room and be like, who hasn't been on the show yet? Because you just bring in new faces every time that you stop by. How do you keep track of them all?
Facebook, thank you. Facebook. That does it. No, they're all really great people, and I'm so fortunate to know them and love sharing theater with them. So,
How long does a production like this take to get ready? Because Guys and Dolls is one that some people have seen before. I knew the song because my dear departed grandma Lanuti loved these kind of plays and these musicals and things like that. So as a kid, this is something I would have watched a performance of on television, and I would probably have seen a play because she would have dragged me out to it. So I like, you're singing, and I'm like, yeah, I know the song. Yeah, I know the next words in it. Like, I already know, even though it was ages ago when I actually saw it last. So, like, how do you prepare for something like this that could be recognizable to people?
sure. So the original film had Frank Sinatra and Marlon Brando starring in it, and so it's kind of well known. It was a kind of a big classic hit. And this particular production has taken us about 8 weeks to put together from start to finish, from auditions to show going up and down. It's a lot of fun and dancing and singing, and nothing is really, really better than live theater. And so we're very fortunate that we have lots of opportunities, as I've talked to you many times about in the past on the South Side. And this is one of them. So bring your kids, bring your grandparents, bring your moms and dads, and come and see the show.
All right, so let's introduce
Sure.
this group that you have in here. You told me these are the four leads. Now, I know the first names of the guys, because that's what's funny. Like, you get a bunch of people walk in the door, and you're trying to remember names as they're all, like, saying hello to you. They have to remember one name. I have to remember four of them. But Dominic and Rocco, it's funny because Rocco and Dominic were the final two names as we were trying to figure out what to name my 15-year-old son.
No way! That's your little Italian heart.
I always liked Rocco, okay, but then that was voted down, so I ended up with Dominic. Now I love Dominic, and they're like, yeah, I got a Dominic Lanuti. I mean, that's an Italian name. It's a South Side name right there, Dominic Lanuti. Hey, so I mean, yeah, but I got these guys right away. Introduce these two ladies to
Sure, this
your
is
side.
Erin Fitzpatrick
Okay.
and Jen Lenahan, and they're both longtime. All four of these guys are longtime theater people. A lot of theater done on the South Side here, so we're really, really fortunate with great talent.
Erin and Jen, how do you get into this? Do you get into this in like a theater camp when you're 6? Do you get into this in high school? Is this a sickness where your friends look at you and say, "Why are you still doing plays?" Like, explain this to me.
Well, I actually come from a theater family. Both my parents were theater majors, and they met in college. And my mom, Patricia Haynes, she was the theater director at Macaulay for many, many years. And so I actually got into it when I was 3 years old. And
Oh, wow, you were bred into this then.
Yep.
It's like me becoming a White Sox fan and suffering every year.
Well, that's my life too. White Sox. My grandfather told my mother, an Irish Catholic White Sox fan, is a perfect person. So there you go. That's my life. So
yeah, no, we're deeply flawed because of how horrible the team is every year.
Yeah, we deal with a lot. But so that's, I went to Mother Macaulay, and I went to college far away for theater, but so it's been like
Far
my
away?
whole
Where
life.
were you? Like on the other side
I
of the
went
world?
to Ohio.
Oh my gosh, that's not that far away.
Well,
I can get there. I can get there in a
It's not
car
right.
in like 6 hours, 5 if I speed. I mean, are you kidding me? Far away. Holy cow! All right, so you've been doing this now. How many? Like I know that Katie is involved in all these different productions with what she does over there. But are you in every production? Do you do one a year? How do you find the time, and how many can you actually realistically do and keep a job?
Well. As I got older, it got harder to balance that. I mean, I used to do a lot more shows. Now I do maybe 1 to 2 a year. My kids were little. Now I have 9-year-old twins. So now they're a little more self-sufficient, so I can do more stuff. And it's nice because it's what I love. And that way I can make myself feel like I'm doing something that makes me get that artistic side and makes me feel better, And then I get to do it with these great people that I just enjoy spending time with. So
that's awesome.
I've known Jen for a long, long time, and Rocco too, and Dominic's new to me, but he's all right, I guess.
In fact, Aaron's mom was my high school theater teacher.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, who's playing the Frank Sinatra character? Is that Rocco's playing it? Okay, man. I thought it was going to be Dominic, man. I mean, no, I'm sorry.
No, he's Marlon Brando.
The guy's got his name is Dominic. He's got his shirt open. He's got like 3 different saints wrapped around his neck on a gold chain. I mean, he looks like he's one of Sinatra's guys as he walks in here.
He's Marlon Brando, and I unfortunately have to fall in love with him on stage. It's so hard.
Rocco, what is it like? Do you watch the movie and then find yourself feeling like you have to act like Frank Sinatra? Like, what do you do with that role?
I make the role my own. I grew up Italian, and
Well, yes, your name is Rocco.
My name's Rocco.
Nobody names their kids Rocco.
Stone cold Italian. And no, I'm really, I grew up with the movie. My mom was a huge, Frank Sinatra fan. I mean, she had Frank Sinatra memorabilia everywhere. But I try to
There's
make
a poster
it,
of him behind you if
Yeah,
you haven't
yeah,
noticed.
so,
It's a prerequisite for every Italian
every
family.
Italian's got to have it, that and a picture of Jesus.
There's a picture of Jesus if you walk in the front door. We got that too.
So, but no, it's not about, because that's Frank Sinatra's role, and I'm not going for Frank Sinatra. I'm going for my own version of Nathan Detroit. And a lot of my inspiration comes from my own uncles and relatives of, just kind of like how they talked, these, Italian guys just hanging out and, shooting the crap with, with their buddies
what I
and
think
stuff.
is funny is you're trying to act like you don't talk like that, but when you get agitated, I guarantee your hands are flying all over the place. And exactly. Oh my gosh, Dominic's itching to get up here and talk like that. He's standing over your shoulder like, give me a microphone. All right, and so like this production, I mean, and maybe we'll let one of the other fine people that are down here haven't gotten a chance to talk about it. This production time that you put into it, how do you balance that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, to me, I would imagine that you can get yourself stuck doing the show, doing the practices, hanging out with castmates, and then going, I haven't done laundry in a week. 'Cause to me, it seems like it's something that's very involved. Jen, do you want to take a shot at that one?
I mean, it is involved, but it's also a release. We all have day jobs. We all do things during the day, and this is our way to, get together.
Do you sing at the day job?
I do not.
Okay.
No, I work for a law firm. I just type all day.
I think that would add to the dreariness of the law firm.
I mean,
Like, I was once a 911 dispatcher, and I would sing some guys and dolls in between the calls if I was doing it.
I was a dispatcher too, but it came in handy when you had to be really nice to people on the phone. And
you were a dispatcher.
I was.
This is amazing. For who?
For St. Xavier University.
Okay, so you're doing St. Xavier. You're doing dispatch for like their police and stuff like that.
I did,
Okay.
years ago.
All right, yeah. That's a terrible job.
It's something.
It's awful. No, it's an awful thing.
I'm gonna go with
it's
something.
Thing. It's a terrible job. Okay, I'm so happy I'm done with it. Okay, so that's awesome. Okay, Dominic, come on, we got to get you in here, man. How do you get into this? Is it just you're walking on the street, looking really Italian, acting really Italian? You're like, look at this, something Italian's happening. You just dive right in and you grab a role, or what?
Well, so I was in theater in 8th grade, and before that, I swear to God, my parents thought something was wrong with me, and then they got me in theater. They're like, oh no, he's just a theater kid. So I did theater for up until my freshman year of college, and then I stopped, and then I started training as an opera singer. But then I graduated college right through COVID. There weren't, all I could do was work from home. There weren't really many theater productions going on. So finally one day I told my mom, I said, I really want to do it. And she goes, then go do it. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll go do it.
Hold on. You're an opera singer too?
I am. Yeah.
It's the most Italian thing in the world.
Right?
I mean, seriously.
Who do you think my idol is?
You're going home later to make a little manicotti and some minestrone beforehand.
Oh, my brother and I make the meatball and gravy every Sunday.
Right. So can we get you to do 5 seconds? I've never had an opera singer sing anything. Is there something you can do that sounds really opera-like or something like that? Don't blow out my microphone.
Nessun dorma, tu pure, o principessa, nella tua fredda stanza.
Awesome.
I could do more,
Awesome.
but
I love it.
Yeah, that's
Classic
really
Italian.
hard to follow on the stage,
Italian songs.
Yeah. That's why I picked it. Okay, let's get Katie up here as we wrap this thing up. And all of you, thank you so much for coming down here to the 9 Foot
Oh,
Homemade
thanks for
Oak Bar.
having us
How
again.
do people get tickets to the show?
So you can get tickets two ways, beverlytheatreguild.org. It's on the website, and you can click onto the ticket link, or you can call 1-800-BTG-TIXS, BTG-TIX, and order tickets. We have a 7:30, on Friday, 2 o'clock and 7:30 on Saturday, and a 2 o'clock matinee on Sunday. And we'd love to see.
Oh, gosh.
I can't.
Frank Sinatra here might not make the second show. He's like, well, there's two?
We'll have Dominic playing both Italian parts, right?
I'm pretty sure he could, okay? This guy would take a shot at it. Katie, and all of you, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks
and,
for having
we'll
us.
see you at the next production, okay?
We'll see you. We'll be here again. Thanks, Chris.
What was the rabbit's name in Bambi? It was Thumper. What's this called in radio speak? It's called a bumper. It's a bumper.
Three friends bellied up to a 9 Foot Homemade Oak Bar in my basement here on the south side of Chicago. Two of them very intelligently have their money with Tom Walsh of Edward Jones Financial over at 111th and Kedzie, right on the corner there. He's been doing this thing for decades. He's a local guy. He's got a sensible approach, a do the right thing attitude. And Tom has done a very good job taking care of my money and Bill's money for the last couple of years. Wherever you are in your retirement planning, the beginning, the middle, the end. And trust me, at the end, you still have stuff you have to do. Make sure you're set up properly. Give Tom a call. Have him take a look. 773-779-0023 or stop in and see him right there on the corner of 111th and Kedzie. Okay, now, I'm going to say it once, just like I did on Stocks in the Basement, because we talk so much about my life here. I'm just going to get it out of the way.
All right.
And I won't make it uncomfortable for anybody. But I already did talk about it on Stocks in the Basement. 26th of August, I'm out of town at a fantasy football draft, and there was a domestic disturbance at the house. The police removed the children for their own safety. The next day, the Department of Children and Family Services, on a Sunday, at 11 a.m. Think about how that's pretty crazy.
Got somebody out of bed.
Yeah, I mean, nobody from DCFS shows up anywhere on a Sunday, but they came to Evergreen Park. They showed up. They interviewed my wife, my three kids separately who were with me over at my sister's house because I came home immediately from my trip and joined them over at the house. And the woman, after doing the initial interview, that was it. Erica, my wife, out of the house. On Monday, a domestic violence court at 555 Harrison, they issued an order of protection, and I basically got the kids, the house, and everything else. And now I'm in the middle of a divorce because I will not put up with what happened on the 26th of August in my home. And that's it. I just want to get it out. I'm not getting into the particulars. I'm not going to talk about what happened to the kids. I'm not getting into that. I don't want to put them through it. But we talk all the time about what goes on in our lives, right. And it's going to be weird for me to be sitting here talking about being a single dad now, and everybody's going to be like, wait a minute, I remember his wife, she was on the show all the time. And, maybe one day I tell more of the story, but I don't think it's necessary right now. It's more important to kind of, circle the wagons around these poor kids, and I'm trying to make sure they're okay, and they're all going through stuff since it happened. And then I also, never sleep because I have to do the grocery shopping.
You got to do everything.
I never did the grocery shopping before. That's crazy. The grocery shopping is insane. Do you grocery shop?
I do it all the time. Yeah,
you do?
I do it all the time.
Okay, I never did.
I was at the grocery
shopping.
store by 8:15 this morning.
I got to go early.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So where do you
I
shop?
go at 6.
Yeah.
Where do you shop?
I go to the Jewels and then Mariano sometimes.
My dad loves the Jewels and the Marianos, so that makes sense. I immediately realized I was going to have to be on a budget. Because this is not going to go. This is not smooth.
All these great too.
Is great.
Yeah.
Going through a divorce is expensive.
Yeah.
So I got a Costco card.
That's good too.
I did that. That place is insane. Have you ever been in one of those
just
places?
go and spend $1,000 every time.
No, I was really smart.
That's bad.
I spent $500, and we have barely been to the store this month.
Nice.
I mean, honest to goodness, $500 to just buy things in bulk that I knew the kids would eat, and then every week I go get lunch meat and bread, milk, eggs, and like a fruit and vegetable.
48
for the week.
eggs.
Right.
Yep.
A
Fruit and
bottle of
vegetable.
ketchup that won't fit in your
don't-
refrigerator.
I don't buy the eggs
Yeah,
and the milk.
it's weird.
Like I don't buy in bulk
3-pack,
things.
by the way. 3-pack of ketchup
Yeah.
that doesn't fit in
I
your
know, it's
refrigerator.
crazy. It's crazy. The stuff that they
We have
sell
2
is
left
insane.
still.
The stuff that they sell is insane.
I was
But
like, they sell all the clothes, and I said, to my,
35-pack
I said to
of
my
pop.
wife, I'm like, what if I want to try something out? Where do I go? She's like, just go behind the big mustard bottle over there.
we are at Pollyanna Oktoberfest, the 3rd annual at the Forge in Lemont. Ryan's here. Brian, the brewer, is standing next to me. You guys kill it every year, and it gets bigger every year. Ryan, tell me what it feels like midday to see this crowd.
This is unbelievable. This is our 16th fest we've had, and every year continues to grow from the year before, and we figured it out. So really, this has been the easiest to plan, and so far so good. It's probably the biggest thus far. So.
And you know what's amazing is that like you have the fairgrounds, but like I have a couple of kids here, and they're off in the middle of the Forge doing all the crazy stuff, and one of them zipline, the other one is hanging behind you right now from a net waving to me from over there. I mean like they're running around the place, and you don't even need to worry about that. So what a great location to have this at, because I mean it takes a little stress off, right?
Yeah, I mean it's an adult playground, and you get a chance to kind of dump your kids off, right? And if you want to hang out with them, they're more than welcome. It's a family-friendly place, and but there's just a ton to do, and having a beer fest is just part of it. So,
Are you stressed? Because you look stressed. Because Ryan looks relaxed, and you look stressed, and you're normally the calmest person I see. I showed up to talk to you on Southside Pod maybe a couple of months ago, and you were super chill. You were just hanging at the bar. You're like, hey, we'll do the interview. You look stressed. Why are you stressed? The beer's already made, my friend.
yeah, there's a lot of beer flowing, so somebody's got to change the kegs. A lot of running back and forth, but hey, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, my drama is credit card machine issues. Yours is 150-pound kegs that blow when you're busy.
So take me through a little bit about how you feel about this festival, because to me, I've noticed, because people come by the tent, there's a lot of people from Lemont. I mean, and you guys have the Lemont location, the St. Charles location, the Roselle location. We always see you in Lemont here for Southside Pod, but I'm also running into people from all parts of Chicagoland that came down to this. And I feel like this is quickly growing into one of the biggest Oktoberfests in the area. What does that feel like when you walk around and see that?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, so we have our core customers from all locations. We get a lot of the beer industry folks too. It's great to see a lot of them out here today, and then a lot of the locals. So yeah, it's humbling, right? So you work your butt off every day. You really don't know how it resonates with your fan base, I guess. A day like today kind of shows that off. So very cool.
Tell me a little bit about this beer that I'm drinking. I'm drinking the Oktoberfest. Is it Frau Haus? Is that how I say that?
Yeah, so it's Fruhauf. It's actually named after a store owner from Lemont, Charles Fruhauf. He owned a store in downtown, and he was around in the late 1800s, immigrated from Europe, and he had a German background and kind of came here and really led the charge with turning Lemont into a place that is suitable to live in. So he was one of the original business owners in the area, and it's pretty cool to pay homage to a German beer.
In the early going, I was drinking the Hefeweizen because it was hot. And I mean, it still is hot. The sun is literally hitting me right in the face right now. But I eventually wanted to try this, but I was drinking the Hefe. And you know what, I'll be honest with you, sometimes I don't like Hefeweizens. I feel like they're a little bit too much banana. They're a little too, it's just not my palate. And I loved it, man. Tell me the name again, because it's escaping me. I know it's kind of a funny little name. And tell me what went into that beer. How long you been making it?
So that beer is called Hump and Scrum, and
That's right.
it's a German Hefeweizen.
Scrum. That's ridiculous.
So that's actually a musical instrument, and we really like alliteration here at Pollyanna. So, but that beer, it's all those flavors come from the yeast, and it's all about how you manipulate the yeast to turn into banana, clove, vanilla, all that stuff. So it's very balanced. Some beers are more banana forward, but ours is pretty balanced between all those flavors.
Did you do an Italian beer that like had limoncello in it. Somebody walked up to Ryan. Like Ryan and I were just BSing like a couple hours ago. Place was just starting to open up, right? And like we had two people. We had one, the guy who walked up and asked us if he needed 2 glasses to get 2 beers. And we were like, well, you could put one in your hand, but you probably need 2 glasses. And then the other person walked up and talked about a limoncello beer. Tell me about this and how I didn't get to drink it.
So it was our anniversary a couple weeks ago, and we made, for our anniversary, a Italian Pilsner. And we did a bunch of variants on it for the special weekend, the special occasion, and one of the variants was limoncello. You know, an Italian Pilsner, why not throw some limoncello flavors in there?
Okay, next time, tell the guy whose last name is Lanuti about it, okay? I mean, I think we've known each other long enough. By the way, these little cups, the Forge, these plastic steins, there's like 6 of them in our house right now. It's what the 8-year-old uses for breakfast every day. Like whenever he needs like a cup to drink out of, because I don't give him something made out of glass, because he's a little clumsy, he's drinking out of the Forge cups.
We don't judge.
All right, before I let you go, tell me about the hat, because the hat is awesome, because like you're walking around in this thing and like, you know, I mean, first of all, the shirts you guys have, the merchandising, everything you do guys is really cool, and you do it always the right way, and Pollyanna Social is a neat place to go and like sit down and try some of your spirits, and the brewery's always fun to go to. But through all of that, I just keep staring at Ryan's hat, man. I mean, like, this guy's authentic today. It matches the shirt. He's like, I've never seen somebody so ready for Oktoberfest in my life.
Well, and 10 years in, this is the first time Brian's ever seen me wear a hat, so I'm not a hat guy, but I tell you, one of our best customers gave it to me last year and said, you're 100% German, you best be wearing a German hat, and here I am, so.
You didn't even know the Ron Burgundies were big. That's the funniest thing. Like, you were like, God. I'm like, who you got playing tonight? He's like, Ron Burgundies. I'm like, you got the Burgundies? Like, the South Side loves the Burgundies. They got a saxophone player and everything else. You're like, really? Like, I mean, like, now are you, like, curious as you get ready?
Absolutely. Now I'm very excited. I'm the bill payer, you can tell. I don't know anything.
There's no idea. He just writes the checks.
So.
You make the beer, he writes the checks. I don't know who booked the Burgundies, but they deserve an extra beer out of the whole thing. Yeah, for sure. Ryan, Brian, you guys are awesome. I appreciate every time you invite us to something. This is a great festival. We're honored to be here, and thanks so much.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris.
Awesome. Thank you. Great partnership.
Southside Pod Bulletin Board brought to you by Spoke and Vine Wine Bar and Bottle Shop, northeast corner of 95th and Kedzie in Evergreen Park. Brand new array of Tuscan and Italian wines in there, and they have wines from all around the world. Your white wines, your red wines. Just remember, 21 and over, and incredible food there. Totally worth getting out for an evening of wine, food, and fun. Spoke and Vine. See more at spokenvinewines.com. Let's look at Friday, October the 6th, actually all weekend long. Ghostly Golf at Tinley Junction Mini Golf and Batting Cages. All golfers ages 12 and under dressed in a costume get a special treat. The weather is still pretty good. It's early October. Go mini golfing. Also, Friday at 6 p.m., a drive-in movie, The Nightmare Before Christmas, in Lemont at the core main parking lot at Lemont Park District. There is also a performance of The Fortunate Sons, a Creedence Clearwater Revival tribute at the Lyric Theater starting at 8 p.m. on Friday. I love me some CCR, doors open at 7 p.m. Now Saturday, an Oddities Market Sound Growler Brewing Company in Tinley Park. One of these artisan markets our friend John Street stops by and talks about all the time. Kicks off at 12 p.m. Indoor, outdoor. Tacos available from the brewery and some new beers to check out. It is October time. Expect weird, curious, and odd items to peruse at the event. Word on the streets is that there's going to be a hearse or two on site at the event if you're into that. By the way, the next week, the 15th of October, Flurry of Makers Artisan Market, Hailstorm Brewing Company, our good friends in Tinley Park, over 24 artists inside and outside the brewery. Scratch Made Kitchen, open, serving all the food. They got some great smoked wings. Check those out. No admission charge, all ages, and the event supports local and small businesses. Meanwhile, also on Saturday, October the 7th, Lemont is having their Food Truck Fest. Get over to the Forge and be a foodie. 10 of the region's best food trucks, music, a beer garden, and a vendor village available out in Lemont. Kicks off at 3 p.m. Kids 10 and under are free with a paying adult. Let me be honest, if you've got a kid under 10 going to that without an adult, they're probably lost in the woods. And also on Saturday, 9 p.m. until 1 a.m., Creed Smack at the Thirsty Beaver. There's no cover there in Crestwood. If you have no idea what Creed Smack plays, I don't know what you listened to in the late 90s and early 2000s. A look ahead brought to you by sidsauce.net. They grow their peppers right here on the south side. They make amazing hot sauces. The Mango Ate Your Baby is my favorite. Check it out right now. See if it's in. If it is, buy 5 bottles. Get it at sidsauce.net. In Blue Island, live, Fluffy and Jelly Kit. Saturday, October the 14th, 7 p.m., Blue Island Beer Company. $12 cover for the Ween Tribute Band and the Primus Tribute Band. Those are 2 bands I never thought I would ever see on stage with each other. And they're not on stage with each other because it's tribute bands, not actually Ween and Primus. Should be a good time though. That's your Southside Pod bulletin board. If you have something for the bulletin board, reach out to us at southsidepod.com. Let's wrap this show up. I was surprised by how when you go to the Costco that there's no bags.
Yeah. Right.
You show up, they scan the stuff. It's all too big to put in a bag
Then
anyway
you
because you're buying a bulk.
the mountains of boxes over there and pick
Right.
one out.
And then you just bring all your stuff out and stack it in the back of your truck.
Then the guy looks at your seat and pretends to count 115 items and just marks it with a highlighter.
That's the most absurd thing. The most absurd thing is
the
when
fact that he's looking.
Yeah.
Yep, you're good.
When they check the receipt,
I got caught on a thing
You
there
got
were
caught?
they counted.
You were
They
stealing Costco?
No,
You were stealing from Costco?
The
You need
woman
some
running
money?
stuff at the register wasn't paying attention, didn't get the stuff on the bottom of the cart, and when she was talking to me the whole time, I wasn't paying attention. We got to the door.
Wow.
And the woman's like, "You're missing 2 items," and I go, "I bet it's the paper towel and the butt wipe that's underneath it."
Wow.
She goes, "Yep, go back to that line," which takes 3 times as long.
Oh, yeah, that one off to the side takes forever.
Man, it was terrible.
Yeah.
That's the first time in the hundreds of times I've been through there.
By law, you don't have to let him check. Sam thinks I'm going to get arrested every time, but I just walk by. Sir,
Bill walks
sir.
by not wearing his
Bye.
mask and
See you
just
later.
walks through.
You don't have to let them look at your receipt.
You just walk by
At
and go,
Walmart,
America.
Costco, anywhere.
Right.
No, I just keep walking. I'm going to my car.
I've always done that at the Walmart because I think it's stupid. Like, to me, it's like,
It is stupid.
I just
I'm
stood
not
here.
stealing
used to not
anything.
check.
You rang
They
it
used to
up.
not check
This is
Walmart.
stupid. It's all in bags for crying out loud. I get the Costco because nothing's in bags. That was the thing. Like, I understood the check for the first time. Because I hate when they do it at Walmart. I just go, I'm not stopping, and they yell at me, and I walk out. Right. I don't care. I'm just like that. I don't care. It's all in Walmart bags. How do you think I got through and ended up with all this stuff bagged and nobody
Walmart
noticed
bags
it up
in
to
your
this
pocket,
point? Give me
right?
a break. But with Costco, I noticed that I was looking at it. I was like, I could literally just take this whole shopping cart and walk right out the door right here. There's a big open area. So that I was thinking about it as I got in the line. Then I realized they don't put it in the bags. And then when they went to check, I was like, well, I understand the check. Because you will get people, I'm sure, that just walk right by the lines with their big thing and they walk right out. So I got that. I understood that. I love the fact that you just want to fight with the Costco
It's
people.
not fighting, and it's not like defiance. I'm not having
is
like
defiance.
But it's
It
not
is
like I'm having like a
defiance.
civil disobedience where I'm making a point that I'm not stopping. I just walk out the door.
Bill's treating them no differently than anyone who would stop to talk to him.
And I don't
He
blame
ignores
him.
them and walks
That's
past
how
them.
Bill treats everyone.
Yes.
Bill,
It's
somebody
no
walks
different.
up and like, hi, how are you? And he just walks right by the guy.
Screwed. I don't say hi. I'm not
His
rude.
wife-
I'm not
his wife
nice.
is like, dear, that's the principal of your kid's school. He's like, yeah, I don't want to talk to him. He just walks right by.
I have nothing to say.
It's normal
Why
Bill.
would I want to waste breath? I have nothing to say. How's the weather? You don't care.
No.
Stop pretending that we care about how each other are. Hey,
Bill,
how you been? Okay.
I care.
Just stop.
I care how you are. How
Well, we're
have you been?
friends. We're not just making small talk.
That's true.
We're putting on a world-class podcast.
A world-class podcast.
But I don't blame Walmart. I'll just end it with this because I have a rule when I do my self-checkout that if I try scanning it 3 times and it doesn't scan, I just put it in the bag.
It's the Southside! It's the Southside! It's the Southside Pod! Thanks for listening! Thanks for tuning in to the Southside Pod!
Y'all come back now, you hear?